So the other big thing you want to think about when you're choosing a project or writing a script is how much money do you think you're going to have available to you to actually make the movie? Now, some people, before they go into this process, say, hey, I think I can come up with $250,000, so that's what I'm going to have available. Now, some people generally go in and say, okay, I'm going to find a story, write a script, and then I'm going to figure out how much it costs to make it, and then I'm going to go figure out the financing. It's better if you kind of have an idea of how much money you'll have available to you, because then you can choose a project and write a script based on the budget or the amount of money that you have available. So for instance, if you've got $250,000 available and you want to make an epic, effects-driven sci-fi adventure film, I don't know if you have enough money. I think you should choose a different project because it's very expensive to do these, CGI effects and all this stuff that's going to be involved in doing it properly, in a big epic sci-fi action adventure thriller. That might be the wrong project to choose if you think you're only going to have $250,000. Maybe you should choose more of a dramatic thing where it's fewer characters, fewer sets, no special effects, that type of thing. The budget and the money are very related to the story that you choose. You can choose the story first and then realize that you have a certain amount of money, which might have to tone down the script that you've written. So for instance, I'll give you an example of that in my life. So again, I do a lot of sports dramas based on true stories. So one of them, I needed a big, epic sort of stadium scene. The budget really didn't allow for that. So I had to make a choice. Do I cut that scene out of the movie, which was generally a pretty important scene because, it's this big, epic stadium, sports scene, or do I figure out how to do it differently? The easy way to do it is cut the scene out and figure something out because it save a lot of money. Because that scene alone probably cost 10 to 15% of the entire budget, one scene. But it was, big epic scene and, it was crescendo of the movie. First, I tried to get more money to shoot that scene, but money wasn't available. So at some point I had to say, okay, I've got to go forward and I don't have the money to do exactly what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rejig it a little bit. I'm going to shoot it a bit tighter with fewer people, do movie magic, change their outfits, move them from here to here, shoot the scene a little tighter, put in some CGI effects in order to make it look much bigger for the budget that I can do. In hindsight, maybe what I should have done is chosen a project that I knew was going to be cheaper to do before I did that, before I, got to the point where I said, hey, this is going to cost me a lot of money. It's an important scene in the movie. And a lot of people, you don't know how much money you're going to have to produce your movie because you're going to go to try to raise the money after you have your script and your budget and everything. If you say, I need, $750,000 to do this movie properly, but you only end up raising $500,000. So you got to make some choices. Number one, should you shoot the movie? Should you shoot a $750,000 movie for $500,000? Because you're going to have to compromise on a lot of things. Most filmmakers generally go forward because they're so eager and anxious to shoot the movie, even though they're going to have to compromise on a lot. Or they say, I can't really do what I really want to do properly for $500,000, and that's all I have. They switch gears and they say, you know what, I'm not doing this movie. I'm going to find another movie that is more suitable for this budget level. I have another story that I also want to do, so I'm going to do that instead. Or they rewrite the script. These are decisions. They're very important decisions. Don't be irresponsible and go forward on $500,000 with the same script that you budgeted at $750, thinking that you're actually some miracle is going to happen and it's actually going to come together. It's not. You're just going to get aggravated and frustrated and you're going to feel totally compromised. Even though you want to be artistic and you have this great vision and this great story and script and everything like that, don't move forward until you have the financing to do it properly, or rejig the idea before you start shooting so that it fits into the amount of money you have. And that's why I say, sometimes you might want to write your script or find the idea based on your budget, which seems also like a crazy artistic compromise, because why would you do that? And the reason you do it is because that's the reality of the world, is this is what you're going to be able to get to make a movie. And if you want to finish your movie and make it entertaining, then do it within the means you have.